Yep, I've been doing a bit of work, Sam. Been doing a bit of work, and so I have prepared the notes for you. So we're going to need to handwrite them. But Sam, listen please. I have not left space there. So I think I just haven't had time. So I think what you can do is you can cut it out and stick it in your book, and then do the relevant examples underneath it. Okay, so we're just going to save all that time there. We don't have to write all that beginning stuff out. So you'll notice, Noah, Seb, that's enough, thank you, listen to me. You'll notice it's single-sided, okay, which means that you can cut it out and stick it in. But we're going to get straight into it, and then maybe in your own time you can finish cutting the rest out, but we'll just start with quadratic formula. Today we've got three things we're going through. All right. One of them only involves one question. We're going to do the first two before recess, and then when you come back, we'll do the third one. So three things to go through, but we're saving time, not writing out the notes, and we've only got a few questions from each. And I think we've seen quadratic formula before. Yeah. So here it is. This is the general form of a quadratic. Okay. And we're told it's going to equal 0. Ax squared plus bx plus c will equal 0. That's what we call its roots. Or there it's x-intercepts if you're going to look at its graph. And we have a formula for finding them. It's minus b plus or minus the square root of b squared take 4ac on 2a. So we've got three examples there. Use quadratic formula to solve the following. We'll start with the first one. We've got x squared plus x take 5 is 0. So we need to identify the values of a, b, and c, and then just crunch it in the formula. So I'm just going to make these statements to begin with. A is 1, it's the coefficient of x squared. B is 1, it's the coefficient of x. And c is minus 5. And so let's process it. Minus b, so minus 1, plus or minus the square root of b squared. Take 4 times a times c. C is minus 5, so we need to substitute that whole value, including the negative, on top of 2a. And then we're just going to process that. Okay, so we identify the values, we put them into the formula, and let's crunch it. We're going to have minus 1 plus or minus the square root of 1 plus 20. All right, so it's going to be 1. Now 4 times 1 times minus 5, that's going to be minus 20. And I've got 1 take minus 20, it's going to be 1 plus 20. Divided by 2. So here we're going to have minus 1 plus or minus the square root of 21 on 2. Now, you may find that some of the answers in your... I'm going to give you full marks right there. Okay, you get full marks there, unless it is a square number. 21 is not a square number, which means we cannot simplify it further. You may find the back of the book, they split the denominator, so they'll have it written like this. Minus 1 on 2, plus or minus the square root of 21 on 2. Okay, so they've just split it into two terms. You may also find that they perform some funky surd operations here that you won't learn until next semester. Okay, we've already described that. So you're getting full marks here, unless this is a square number. So let's go to number B. We've got 7x squared take 5x plus 1 is 0. We identify A, B, and C. And let's put it in the formula. Okay, so minus B, that's the formula, isn't it? The value of B is minus 5, so I've got minus 5, plus or minus B squared, 4 times A times C on 2A. Here we're going to have 25 take 28. All right, we've done this one on purpose on top of 14. Now 25 take 28 is minus 3. Okay, anyone see a problem? Can't square root a negative number, so that means that there are no solutions, okay? Because here, the square root of a negative number does not exist, so that means to this problem, there's no solutions that are going to give us an answer to it. There's no values of x that make this statement true. So we're just going to write no solution. Excellent. Okay, last one. This one's a little bit more involved. We've got x plus 1 squared is 3 take x squared. So, when it's like this, when we're solving a problem like this, what we need to do is expand everything, bring it all to one side, collect all those like terms, and then we can solve it. So form a perfect square expansion here first, x squared plus 2x plus 1. We're going to subtract 3 from both sides, so I'm going to have to take 3, and we're going to plus x squared to both sides. Okay, so then over here I've subtracted 3 and plus x squared, over here we've got 0. So we've expanded, we've moved everything to one side. Let's collect like terms. Here we've got x squared and x squared. That means we've got 2 lots of x squared. Plus 2x, and then we've got 1 take 3 minus 2. Identify our values of a, b, and c. Okay, a is 2, b is 2, c is minus 2. And then we'll approach the formula. Minus 2 lots of 2's involved in this. We're going to have 4 plus, 4 times 2 is 8, times 2 is 16. So we'll have 20. Okay, now this is probably a good opportunity for me to demonstrate to you the surd operations. Alright, so I'll just show you what's going on, but this is not expected of you. Okay, so again, you're getting 4 marks here. But I will just show you how the back of the book does simplify if you're interested. So the square root of 20, right? The square root of 20, that's equal to the square root of 4 times 5. Now one of the rules I showed you the other day is if you have root of AB, you can write it as square root of A times square root of B. So that's what we're going to apply here. If we've got square root of 20, we can, or square root of 4 times 5, we can write that as square root of 4 times square root of 5. Okay? So let's do that. What we've got here is we've got minus 2 plus or minus the square root of 4 times the square root of 5 on top of 4. And now the square root of 4 is 2. Okay, the square root of 4, that becomes 2. So we've got minus 2 plus or minus 2 root 5. 2 root 5 just means 2 times root 5. So root 20 is equal to 2 root 5. All right, if you put that in your calculator, that's what it's going to come out like. Okay, it'll simplify it like that. So there's multiple ways of expressing it. And then that's on top of 4, and then they'll probably split the denominator, so you have minus half plus half root 5. Alright, but you're getting 4 marks here, so just to give you a bit of an intro to that process. Alright, so let's spend about 15 minutes doing some quadratic formula, just revising it, and then we'll look at sum and product rule.